And so Estelle's group took to the road toward Haken Gate while escorting Chloe. Passing through the Rune Gate, they moved through Rolent as quickly as possible, and soon arrived at Haken Gate. Kommt hier Olivier? Kommt hier eine Szene, die ich tatsächlich im Kopf habe? Das ist tatsächlich etwas, was wo quasi semi-gespoilert wurde, also zumindest habe ich die Szene im Kopf, dass die halt mit ihren Panzern angerollt kommen, hier der One-Night-Sekt auftritt und Olivier hilft, das zu bereinigen. Er lässt die Szene. Hi! Schön, dich hier zu sehen, One-Night-Sekt. Du bist eigentlich ein sympathischer Typ. Explain yourself, General Vander. Why is the division of the Imperial Army on our little doorstep? Does the Empire truly forget the pact it signed so quickly? General Morgan, I'm the one who would like an explanation. What are you, for the past 24 hours or more, opened all across the southern marches of His Majesty's domain have ceased function. And at the same time, it seems a massive, heretofore unknown structure appeared above your Valeria Lake. I ask you, Morgan, what is going on? It is just as you say. We are confused as anyone else about the situation. So it would seem. But your situation is, as I said, affecting a large swathe of Imperial territory. Given that, you know full well why I am here, General. Here to try and raise this with stallion above us while we're weak, then? We intend nothing of the sort. We are given to understanding that a criminal organization of some sort has been taking advantage of this situation. All we wish is to see if we can be of aid to the allies whom we have signed a non-aggression pact with. Those are the orders I received from the Imperial government. Nonsense. What are those tanks doing here then? I've never heard of a tank that runs on steam and combustion until now. Or is it that you suddenly have these tanks which conveniently require no orbital power? That is a military secret. Ich glaube, ich habe so einen Grund, warum. Ich glaube, und dieser Grund fängt mit O an. I would think you would welcome us so, Morgan. These vehicles are perfectly suited for helping to keep the peace. In the birth it is, while this crisis runs its course. You understand my meaning, yes? We deeply appreciate the thoughtfulness. What? Oh, neues Outfit für Chloe. Das sieht ziemlich nice aus. Impossible. Your Highness, what are you... Morgan, well done. Please leave the rest of this to me. But, Your Highness... Wait, what are they doing here? We are the royal bodyguards, sorta temporarily. Should the worst happen, we protect Claudia, we swear. I may be inexperienced as a negotiator. This is, however, the proper time for me to step forward and assume my duties as heir. Morgan, please. As you wish, Your Highness. Yes. Keep in mind who you are going out there to parley with, my princess. If anything happens, be ready to run for the gate. I understand. It seems I will be trading words with someone else now, I'm afraid I don't recognize you, though your bearing is quite noble. This is the first time we have met, sir. I'm Claudia von Auslese, Princess of the Pearl, granddaughter to the Queen, and newly invested heir to the throne. Forgive my impertinence, Your Highness. I am Zex Vander, Your Highness, Lieutenant General of the 3rd Armored Division, of the Imperial Army. Yes, word of your accomplishments in battle has reached even us, General Vander. Hey, is that guy famous? Yes, that one-eyed Zex. He's one of the best field commanders Erebonia has. If I may be so bold, Your Highness, you've actually seen pictures of you before. Have you cut your hair recently? Now that I look, your face familiar, but... this is a bit embarrassing. I cut it for the investiture ceremony. Don't consider it a little girl's way of showing her resolve to take up a burden too heavy for her. Hardly, Princess Claudia. It looked very good on you, if I may be for it. Allow the servant of the Empire to congratulate you on becoming the heir to the throne. Ich einfach was anderes spielen wollte, gerade erfahren, nur zu sagen. Ja, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, General. Well then, what brings the Prince of the Pearl here? Are you here to raise protest against us like my good colleague Morgan? No, that is not my intent. I am sure that our neighbors in Erebonia must be terrified at the moment. The darkness at night, the cold, the complete shutdown of communications. Believe me, I know how any one of these could inspire terror in people. What I ask is for you to consider your actions. Consider what would happen if your forces were to enter our country. You say that large portions of the empire are disordered at the moment. I assure you, in every part of Liberl, it is worse. And while we no longer bear Erebonia ill will, many of our citizens are agitated and afraid. Muss ich auch gerade mal sagen, die Musik ist sehr geil. Ich glaube, das habe ich schon oft gesagt während dem Spiel. I could not bear it if the good intentions of our allies were misunderstood. But, as you can see, we're investigating these strange events as quickly as we are able. Furthermore, we have managed to suppress most of the activities of the aforementioned criminal group on our own. So for the sake of continued friendship between Erebonia and Liberl, a relationship we value highly. Haken und Soundtracks, Imber. Ja, und holy, ist das lange her, dass ich das Wort Imber gehört habe, Alter. Ich fühle mich instant alt. Give us a little more time, General. We will make this right. Pretty words. Olivier, pretty words, but they are less sound and fury, signifying nothing. Ja. Mit seinem schönen Outfit. Geil. Das ist der Moment, wo man theoretisch erfährt, wer ist. Your Highness. Yep. I shall take the reins. You're relieved, General. As you wish, Your Highness. Or, you can't be. You've got to be shitting me. Nope. I believe this is our first formal acquaintance, Princess Claudia. I'm Olivert Reise Arnor, the son of His Majesty, Emperor Eugene III. What? What of the sons of... He's an Imperial Prince? Sherrod, did you know about this? You're kidding, right? I thought he was just some sort of agent for Imperial intelligence. Olivert Reise Arnor. I recognize the name, but I don't know the man. Even though I am a prince, I am little more than a royal bastard. I rarely attend to public matters of state, so I am unsurprised you do not know my face. Does still sting a little, though, I fear. Controller? Das geht halt einfach aus. For a lovely girl who was want to be my... Moment, was? For a lovely lady who was want to be my bride, not even know my face? Moment mal, was? Seid ihr nicht irgendwie... Oliver, bist du nicht irgendwie fast doppelt so alt wie sie? An arrow, my heart. Well, there are no other words. I see, that's what Colonel Richard had in mind a while back. I'm sorry, I was unaware. Allow me to apologize for the slight against you. Well, I do understand it was conducted without the Queen's consent. That sort of slight we can overlook. But this, no. Erebonia cannot overlook this. Oh, my enchanting princess. Are you aware, I wonder, of a little rumor making its rounds across our great empire? I don't believe I am. Allow me to tell you then. Rumor has it that immense structure in the distance is Liberl's new weapon. What? Liberl has developed a groundbreaking new weapon that allows them to stop orbital energy. They intend to use it to make us pay for the war 10 years ago. It is a rumor which finds fertile ground in the ears of our citizens and leadership. It can't be. It's absolutely untrue. We would never... Then you can prove it, yes? Prove that it is a misunderstanding? You cannot, then we must act upon the evidence of our senses. Indeed, if the rumors are true, this is a monstrous betrayal of all civilization, using the pact to hide your intentions. What choice would we have then, but to be defenders of a free world? Okay, what the hell is this, Olivier? Estelle? Estelle? You can't just stand here listening to you blather on as you please. Olivier, you know damn well just what's going on here. Why are you being such a jerk? Estelle, wait. Have we met? You seem to know me, even if you did not get the name quite right. Did we meet at a party once? Huh? No, you lack the refinement of nobility. Yes, no matter how I look at you, you must be nothing more than a commoner. So, who are you? Okay, fine then. You wanna play dumb no matter what? You aren't the only one who can bust out a surprise. Oh? My name is Estelle. I'm a B-Rank Bracer of the Bracer Guild of Olivert. Kurze Frage, vielleicht kannst du mir das in den Chat beantworten, Raspur. Wird das je nachdem geändert, was für einen Rang ich habe? Also wenn ich jetzt schon Rang A wäre, hätte er A-Rang gestanden, wenn ich noch Rang C wäre, hätte er Rang C gestanden. Das würde mich jetzt tatsächlich interessieren. Oder geht das Spiel einfach davon aus, dass man jetzt B-Rang ist und sagt das dann einfach? Ja, okay, das ist nice. In accordance with the laws of the guild, I'm involving myself in this dispute as a neutral arbitrator. Estelle? Oh, I see, you're a bracer. Olivert denkt innerhalb Stunde so, geil. B-Rank. That would make you a veteran bracer who could be trusted with arbitration of this scope, but trying to say you can't trust the bracer's word, Prince Olivert? Not at all, forgive me. So what do you intend to do about our little situation? Neutral arbitrate. Könnt ihr bitte aufhören, dieses Wort zu benutzen? Ich weiß nicht, wie man es ausspricht. From the evidence. Ich hatte es bis dahin geschafft, Rang A zu sein, es wurde A. Okay, gut zu wissen. From the evidence, I judge that Erebonia's claim is false. The floating city is not a Liburnian weapon. I swear it on the honor of the Bracer Guild supporting Gauntlet. Oh, on the honor of the Guild's emblem itself? A bold statement. Certainly, the statement from Bracer Guild holds enough weight that it cannot be ignored outright. However, I shall pose the same question to you then. Miss Bright, what is your evidence of this claim? Evidence? What we've seen for ourselves. The group which made the floating city appear as the criminal society of Ouroboros, which is still operating in Liburn. We of the guild have been cooperating with the Royal Army to try and put a stop to the society's operation. Estelle, ich bin so sicher, ich meine, es ist Olivert, das gut, ne? Und One-Eyed Zack und Müller sind auch nicht unvertrauensvoll, aber ich weiß nicht, ob das so theoretisch so schlau wäre, in dem Moment geheime Armeegeheimnisse auszuplaudern. Aber ich kann nicht sagen, ob sie unter Rang B wäre. Ich habe gehört, dass ihr Mindestkanon-Rang wäre. Okay, das ist gut zu wissen. Heck, if you like, we can have records of everything forwarded to the Imperial Government. Well, that would certainly satisfy our need for evidence against possible malfeasance. However, you have, I think, missed the key point, Miss Bright. Huh? Assuming then that the perpetrators are the Society of Ouroboros, are the board of the guild capable of putting a stop to this crisis? Well, if you do not, then the Empire will not sit here wringing its hand. The weapon we have brought, including the cannons of attack, needs all this gunpowder. Would that not be perfect for laying siege to and destroying this little rogue city of yours? You've got to be joking. What will cannons do against something that big? You never know until you try, Miss Bright. Regardless, I can say one thing for sure. You do not have the ability to put a stop to our goodwill, or our need to defend ourselves. Gah. Well then, Prince Olivert, would action satisfy? Controller, nicht jetzt. Controller. Warum? If we can prove that we can, even in these circumstances, do something about that city, would you give us the time to do so? Well, I suppose that for some time at least, civility would force our hand, My prince? Calm down, General. Consider it the bare minimum of courtesy to a minor power we have to a pact with. This assumes they can even prove anything. As you wish. Weiß ganz genau, dass sie proven können. Der wird auch wahrscheinlich gleich so denken, ja, ich komme da mit, ne? So then, if you can show me you have some hope of stopping all this, our forces will withdraw. On the crest of Gold Stallion and my name as a member of the Arnor family. I swear it. Good, that came through loud and clear. Osborne? What, that voice? Is that... Yes, no doubt about it. No, you're really kidding me. Okay, nicht ganz Osborne. Dad? Ja, Sally funktioniert wieder. Ja gut, na klar, die haben auch einige Dinger angebracht. Wie convenient, dass da keine Steine liegen, wo die landen. This is our proof, men of Erebonia. Feel free to feast your eyes upon it. Dad, Cassius blind! It's been a while, Zex. I finally gave you a second star, I see. That's beside the point. Why are you here? What is that ship? Was it capable of flying? That, unfortunately, is a national secret. Rather like those steam tanks of yours, I would say. Gah. So this is the assay, is it? You must be the famed Cassius Bright. I believe this is the first time we have had an audience, Your Highness. Strange so. I feel as if we've met somewhere before. How curious, General Bright. I was just thinking the same thing. How very curious. Isn't it so? Die beiden sind... Ja, das Lullfeld passt perfekt. My Prince. Miss Bright, Princess Claudia, I am a proud member of the Erebonia Imperial family. I will keep my word. General, have all our forces withdraw from this area immediately. Olivier, you have our gratitude. Prince Olivert. So, my dear citizens would undoubtedly not be satisfied with mere possibility being presented to them. Perhaps I could board the assay and absorb for myself. Wer hätte gedacht, Prince Olivert? A good idea. I'm sure everyone in the Imperial government would be satisfied with the Prince as a witness. Princess Claudia, shall we? Of course, I see no reason to object. I'm sure this will only further strengthen the bond of friendship between Erebonia and Liberia. Welcome aboard, Prince Olivert. Ich kann auch endlich wieder Olivert sagen. Prince Olivert, what have you done? You finally stride onto the public stage for the first time in ages, and you engage in this charade. I suppose we were too transparent at the engine. Transparent like air. You think that the Prince of the Empire would plan something like this in Liberia? Mueller, how could you let this happen? Forgive me, Uncle, but do you really think that this idiot would listen even if I asked him to stop? Well, besides, there are elements of this which do not sit easily on my conscience. I learned all about the truth behind Hamel during this mess. So you did know. How could he not know? Even back then, he was an critical part of the military chain of command. My shame is... No, Zex, I do not blame you. It was a subsection of the war horns. I know you had nothing to do with it. The scandal so vile that information about it had to be tightly controlled. I do not agree with the logic, but I understand it. Seal up that which stings and bury it forever. Those who rule remain in power, unblemished. However, I cannot allow the same trick to be played twice. Prince, Zex, you realized it yourself, I'm sure. The incredibly fictitious addition of the steam tank to our arsenal. The convenient order to authority. Every bit of it has the fingerprints of a blood and iron chancellor himself, Gilius Osborne. He's in contact with our brothers. I no longer doubt it. And personally, I find the idea of a chancellor whose first loyalty is not to the Empire rather repugnant, don't you? My Prince, you can't possibly... but I do indeed. The former military man who has become the Empire's central politician after rising to prominence 10 years ago. The cold-blooded yet bold reformer who laid waste throughout the Empire und durch andere Nationen einfach so durch, and has annexed many of our neighbors through force of arms. I've decided to slay the beloved monster which has made its nest in our empire. You may call all of this my declaration of war. Unbelievable. My Prince, do you even realize what you are attempting to accomplish? I like to tell myself I do, at least. He is not only politically strong, but he has de facto control of easily 7/10 of the military. Putting aside neutral people like yourself, all who stand against him are the nation's feudal lords, and their influence weakened by the day. Worse still, my father's trust in him is nearly absolute. The very picture of a monster, I would say. Then why even... is it not obvious? Because the way he acts is not beautiful. What? My eyes were opened as I traveled the burr. People and countries are their greatest when they are proud of themselves. And I wish for my people, my fatherland, to feel the same pride. Be proud of accomplishments, not conquest. I hope you can understand that. My prince, you've become quite a man. As they say, only an unwatched pot will boil. It's been 7 years since you took me under your wing to teach me what you knew, Zach. I simply learned to apply what you taught when you weren't looking. Indeed. Very well, I'll put my forces back. I must remind you, however, that the 3rd Armored Division was merely a vanguard. Osborne is mustering another 10 divisions in the capital. 3 days, and then they march. That's your deadline. Yes, we'll act with all haste, Zeth. Eula, you're going with Prince Olivert, I take it? You think you'll probably bring him back, even if you have to drag him by his collar? I imagine I'll have to do so either way. Men, fall out! We are to join the Palm. Der wurde hier schon genannt. Palm, nice. Schöne Stadt. There we will await new orders. Yes, sir. Passend Palm, da ist ja hier die Wander, Schwertschule. Müsste Kurt nicht gerade, also nicht Kurt, den wir kennen, sondern Kurt Wander gerade in Palm sein zu dem Zeitpunkt sogar? Könnte hinkommen, ne? So we managed to buy ourselves a little bit of time at least. Really so, no, and trust me, it seems my lamentations truly are ceaseless. Of course they don't, you nitwit. Even I didn't think you had something like this in you. As they say, we're going to play your cards, throw in all your chips. Besides, you certainly did a good job in arranging all the pieces. You could say we are partners in crime, confederates of love, bees of a flower who have shared of the sweetest honey. I am on Olivert. Olivier. Estelle, brilliantly done. Brilliantly done, my entire butt. Could you please explain what in the hell is going on? Why is exactly as it looks? There was something rotten in the state of Erebonia. I simply dragged it up onto the stage. The stage. The rest of us couldn't get a peek at the script. As I truly say, if you wish to deceive your foes, deceive your friends. Having your say show up after you negotiate us into a corner. That was the plan Cassius, the bride, and I came up with. Dad and Olivier, I should have known. Once Dad showed up, I thought that might be it. That was the idea, at least. And here comes deceitful jerk number 2. Oh, that's a little cool, don't you think? I was listening in by phone. You handled those negotiations expertly. Thanks to you, the arrival of your say had all the impact it needed. Listening in by what? Of course, that artifact of yours. My dear Sarah, no more of that, please. It would be a little problematic if he heard about a little too late on that score, Prince. Kevin's here too. And Julia as well. Your Highness, I heard about the attack on the capital. I'm very glad to see you are safe. I'm sorry, Julia, I can only imagine how worried you must have been. Well, part of it's my fault. If I had finished the Arsade's upgrade, we could have come by to help out ourselves. Unfortunately, Deerfield reinforcing the most advanced airship in the world took a while, if you can believe it. Still, glad to see everyone safe. Yeah, hang on. How is the Arsade flying? Met a zero fuel generator, big enough for the entire ship. Yes, indeed. The ones I gave you were prototypes I'd whipped up to help design a large-scale version. I've been locked up in the Arsade ever since you left, and now it's finally ready. I see. So in other words, every last bit of this was set up by Dad. Come now, don't say it like I'm a criminal. I simply did what I could to make it easy for you to act. You did this because you wanted to, yes? Well, technically, I guess, but... Oh, I don't quite get why you're here, though, Kevin. Ah, right. While I was at the cathedral, word came in from the grounds with the higher-ups. They've been hitting the books. I think I've got a good picture on what kind of thing the aureole is and how to end this mess. And once I told Cassie about this, I got hog-tied and brought out here. Whoa, what? What the aureole is? Yeah, so, first of all, the aureole isn't the floating city itself, really. We think it's an artifact within the city that provides the whole thing with orbital power and helps control the flow of it. The Gospels are basically like distribution thingies for it. An ancient power source for a city. But then, why is it causing all our open to shut down? Now we're getting into guesswork, but a couple of really old legends talk about the aureole striking down threats to be chosen. Meaning all our modern openings are being seen by it as threats to be chosen, disabling all possible threat in its area of influence. It's a defense mechanism, essentially. It seems extremely likely, and really this gives us a ray of hope. Doing something about the entire city would be difficult at best due to its sheer size, but if we can find the actual aureole somewhere within the city, we may be able to find a way to deal with it. I see. That is an idea. It does sound like a plan, at least. Yes, it seems as though our final goal is well set for us. We should board via say and make our way to a flying city with all haste. Bitte sag mir, dass Claudia und Olivert ihre Kleidung behalten. The decision to use via say must come from the royal family. Princes, shall we? You don't need to ask. Captain Schwartz, prepare via say for launch. We're heading for the flying city above Valeria Lake. At once, Your Highness. And my bracer friends, please, everyone, lend your aid to Liberal in our hour of need. This mission will likely be the last one of this crisis. Well, saying that like it's even a question if we go. Ich zerstörme alle Hoffnungen. This is something we should leave up to our leader. Leader? Wobei, jetzt wo ich gerade nachdenke, gut, das von Olivert ist halt das, was er auch in Cold Steel trägt, aber das, was Claudia trägt, ist das, was sie auch in Cold Steel 4 trägt? Das sieht, glaube ich, das sieht dem ziemlich ähnlich. Kann das sein? Estelle. We mean you, of course. What? Why so shocked, Estelle? We all do have our own stake in this, yes. But one way or another, we've just been tagging along on this wild ride of yours. So in that sense, Estelle, you're definitely our leader. They're not quite ready for it. No, she is. No matter how grim it gets, Estelle never loses hope. But light is always there to guide us. That's why only Estelle could ever be our leader. Joshua, not helping. Estelle, your face is red as a beet. Okay, I get it. Chloe, the guild accept your mission. We'll find the aureole in the flying city and save Liberal. Thank you. Good, that's finally settled. Now we can get back to headquarters. Dad, you're not coming with us? I'm afraid I can't. They may have retreated for now, and I trust Vex to keep his word, but we can't ignore the larger Erebonian threat. It's not just Haken Gate. They could use non-orbital-powered vessels to invade by sea. I also wouldn't be surprised if the Society attempts another raid on Granze. I can't leave the Royal Army with all of this going on. Yeah, I get it. I'll do my best. With Joshua, with everyone. Na, die einzige Person, die jetzt gerade noch im Picture ist, die prinzipiell wahrscheinlich gerade nicht auf dem Weg zur Aureole ist Gilbert. Und ich behaupte mal, Colonel, Sid und Alan Richard könnten, ich glaube, wenn die zusammenarbeiten, die würden Gilbert, glaube ich, mit einem Hieb komplett durchschneiden in der Mitte. So Dad, try not to kill yourself at work, okay? It will be a struggle, but don't worry. Joshua, let me give this to you. Huh? Cassius handed a letter to Joshua. A letter? Call it a father's heart. It's between men, so it might be a little shocking for Estelle. Gentle reminder that I'm right here and still have my staff. I'll read it when I have time, Dad. Please do. For the love of... I seriously do not get guy stuff like this. Don't be so harsh, Estelle. I'm taking some time off once this is over. I intend to spend a lot of time at home once I can. Estelle, make sure we can all share some omelette rice then, alright? Aha. Ja, Olivert. Frage, fliegen wir direkt zu dem Ding oder können wir noch irgendwie rumlaufen und Quest machen?